Welcome to Writing Westward. My name's West, and today we're talking about Whiplash. Whiplash's opening scene has some of, if not the tightest writing I've ever seen in film. Writer and director Damien Chazelle even says that he thinks films waste their opening few seconds, and nowhere is it more apparent that he didn't want to waste Whiplash's opening few seconds than his opening scene. The writing is tight, the direction is tight, and I want to talk about it. But before I do, let's do a little spoiler warning. Film, 10 years old, many considered a modern classic, so if you haven't seen it yet and don't want to be spoiled, go watch it, come back, or don't, I don't really care. But anyways, let's get into it. The movie opens with a black screen, which forces us to focus on the increasing tempo of the snare drum. The quickening drum roll sets the tone for the entire movie in the first few seconds, and that tone is tense. The music also serves as a precursor for introducing Neiman's character. We learn that he's intense enough through his drumming, which is the only thing we know about him so far, and we haven't even seen him on screen yet. When the setting is revealed, we realize through the setting of an empty school that Neiman is willing to put in the hours that others simply aren't. This immediately showcases his drive and commitment to his art. Doubling down on that, we also see that not only is the school empty, it's also nighttime. Neiman is literally losing out on sleep or social engagement for his art. That's just the kind of character he is, and it's a testament to Chazelle's direction and writing that we, as the audience, know that already. Then, we get to take in Neiman's drumming, once, the video actually appears. He's glistening with sweat, motivated and absolutely lost in that artistic sauce. Because this is the first thing we see from this character, the film immediately implies that this is the most important thing for this character, which the film later triples down on throughout its runtime. Later in the movie, we see Neiman choose artistic ambitions over romantic pursuits, family, and even his own safety. There hasn't even been any dialogue yet, but Chazelle has already begun laying the foundation that informs Neiman's character and his choices later in the film. Earlier, I mentioned the snare drum setting the stage for tension, but the film's sound design isn't the only thing contributing to that tense background. The cinematography also chips in to create an unnerving sense of tension. The camera begins slowly creeping up on Neiman as he's playing, and this elicits a terse, unnerving response from the audience. This camera work also offers insights into the two titular characters. It's revealed that this creeping camera is actually Fletcher's point of view. Steady, unnerving, and cynical. The camera also acts as if it's discovering Neiman, as Fletcher is, as Neiman so desperately wants to be discovered himself. Damien Chazelle often describes Fletcher as an on-screen, monstrous presence, and that's immediately hinted at by Fletcher lurking in the dark like the classic stuff of nightmares. The writing and directing is so tight that we're already able to infer fundamental traits of these characters without any dialogue. Speaking of the dialogue only doubles down on the high quality of writing when it does come about. When I went to school for writing, I learned that good dialogue accomplishes multiple goals in storytelling at once. For example, good dialogue offers character insights while simultaneously pushing the plot forward. Writer and director Damien Chazelle is a master of writing tight dialogue that accomplishes multiple things. So, let's break some of these lines down. "Do you know who I am?" are the first words that Fletcher says to Neiman. And these 5 words immediately inform the audience of the dynamic between the protagonist and the so far nameless bald man who would later be revealed as a renowned conductor with the power to fast-track Neiman's musical career and ambitions. This dynamic is only cemented when Neiman responds with a timid yes sir and a nod. This relationship is the centerpiece of the whole film. It's insane that it's set up so succinctly here in one line, or a few lines. The next line, "Then you know I'm looking for players," is what Fletcher says to Neiman. It's something tangible being held out in front of Neiman, something he wants desperately. This is Fletcher taunting Neiman with the proverbial carrot. These simple lines of dialogue not only inform the audience of the relationship these two will have throughout the film's runtime, they set the stage for the continuation of the plot while also offering deep insights into each character. The next line from Fletcher to Neiman is, "Then why did you stop playing?" And Neiman's response to this, of course, is to start playing the drums because he's a sane person and that's a sane response. To which Fletcher then insanely and purposefully replies, "I asked you why you stopped playing and your version of an answer was to turn into a wind-up monkey." This line shows the core of Fletcher's character immediately. He plays mind games. If you watch the movie, you realize Fletcher would have also ridiculed him had he not gone straight into playing. Neiman's actions didn't matter here. Fletcher was going to belittle him regardless. That's just the kind of character he is. Then, after his mandatory belittling session, he continues insisting that Neiman show him his rudiments. And then, as Neiman's drumming, Fletcher demands more and more. He says, "Do it in double time swing." And he says, "Faster, faster, do it faster." And this may seem like a simple exchange at first, but this is the first meeting of these two characters, and already Fletcher is gauging how far he can push this kid. He's subtly setting the precedent, or maybe not so subtly, but he's setting the precedent that he's in charge. Anyone he works with will match his tempo and energy, lest he cut them out entirely. Neiman starts drumming again, and his drumming is hypnotic, drawing in the audience. And it only stops when we hear the door shut behind Fletcher as he leaves. Fletcher's wordless exit purposefully implies that Neiman wasn't good enough. I mentioned the carrot earlier. This is the stick. If Neiman doesn't do exactly what Fletcher wants, the exact way Fletcher wants it, Fletcher can and will sever Neiman, or anyone else he deems unworthy, from their dreams and ambitions. He comes back because he forgot his jacket, which is ultimately an intentional play to come back and gauge his hold over Neiman, to see that little spark of hope in Neiman's eyes, just to purposefully and sadistically snuff it out with the "forgot my jacket" line. Whiplash's opening scene has some of, if not the tightest writing and directing I've ever seen in a film. It's incredible that for the first couple minutes of the movie, the foundation is laid for almost every event and decision that takes place throughout the rest of the runtime of the movie. It's a seamless opening that sets up everything beautifully. It's just fantastical. I think this is an incredible scene. Obviously, I made a YouTube video about it. I think it's so good. And it's like writer and director Damien Chazelle says, he likes movies that give you the entire movie in a microcosm in the opening scene. And he accomplished that almost flawlessly here. And yeah, I guess I just want to talk about it. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Anyway, I'm a YouTuber. You know what I want. Do the things if you feel like it. And I'll see you next time.